Okay, we're just going to cut up a whole chicken. Now, as you can see, this one is £4.28, 1.87 kilos, 2.28 a kilo. So this is quite a large one. It says it's an extra large. I wouldn't say it's super large, but over, it's 1.87 kilos, quite a big one. So it's just over £4. So we're going to see how much we can get out of this, how big the breasts are. And then another time, we might see how big. So the first thing I do is take the legs off. So cut down here. Now, round here, that's where the ball and socket joint is. So you can, I don't know if you can see there, but you have to cut through here, straight through there. And then if you want the thigh and the leg, now in between here, you can feel it. There's like the bone, the ball and knuckle joint. So you can go straight through there. It's a lot harder than it looks there. So there's the drumstick, and that's the thigh. Yeah. Now we've got some wings on here, so that we can take these wings off and go straight through there. So as long as you know where to go and where it opens up, if you can go straight through as well. This bit's not much use, so I'm not going to use that bit. These bits I'll take off for the breast normally, but you can take them off now. Cut them through here. So the pupils have to do this soon. And you can bring it round. And as you can see, the bit here, you can see where to cut through, nice and simple. Yeah. And that one's got you can see like they don't normally have this blood vessel in there, you don't normally see them. Then through here, as long as you get the right place, you should be able to go straight through like so. Now the hardest bit is to taking the breasts off properly. Oh, this leg wing can come off as well. Through there and through there. So the next bit is the breast. So either side, I'm cutting one side of it. Now you have to cut through the breast, the wishbone limit. So I'm hitting the wishbone now. So if you don't push, you can just crack through the wishbone like so. If you don't do that, you lose. So I'll cut the wishbone there. You can see that I've cut through there. If you don't do that, you waste loads of the chicken. Now a smaller knife, if you don't want to use the chef's knife, we're going to fillet it a bit like filleting a fish. Now I'm trying to leave it so I don't leave much. So as you can see, there's not much chicken left on there. So all the way down there. Then I'm going to take there's a little wing here. So now I'm going to take the wing off with it, because some people, when they do the breast, they keep the wing on. So through here, and as you can see, I've got a huge breast there. I'm going to take the skin off, and I'm going to weigh this in a minute to show you. The skin, you can keep the skin off. Now you can cut the wing off. You can cut the wing out before. So there's the cartilage. Take that off, and you've got another type of wing. So you get like there's only two wings obviously, but then you can cut them in half. As you can see, it's a huge breast here. And have I taken the wishbone? The wishbone is here. Not the wishbone. Yeah, the wishbone. Sorry, you see there's half the wishbone there. So you can trim this, and you've got the little bit of trim that bit off if you want to, and then we're going to weigh it. I'm going to show you this on the scales. Switch it on. Let me move the camera a little bit here. As you can see, this would be about 300 grams. It's a bit smaller, this one actually, but between 250 and 300 maybe. Let's have a look. 280. So sometimes you get them up to 300 with these birds here. So that's a lot bigger than you get in the ones in the shop when you buy the breast. The packets of breasts, they're normally only about 150 grams. So that one's 280. So nearly, about 50% bigger. So this would be the equivalent of 3 breasts out of these two I'm going to get. So the next one, cut down. And sometimes it's hard to get the same weight on the second one. Sometimes the first one you get slightly bigger weight. So down here, try not to waste any of the chicken. We're going to boil this up for stock anyway. And you have to weigh it without the skin. We normally weigh it without skin. So as you can see, it's a nice big breast, and you could cook it like that. But I'm not sure what we're going to make with this. I'm using the legs today to make some Spanish chicken, which I'm going to video in a minute. So in here, take the skin off. There's a little bit of wishbone in here. Just cut, you can either cut that out. Sometimes you just pull it out with your fingers. As you can see, a bit of the wishbone. Try not to, so don't put any meat on it. Then this one is going to be similar weight. 278, 2 grams different, not a lot. So not much, there's not much left on here. So there's these bit of oyster bits here, which you can cut out with a small knife if you want to. You get a small mouthful of chicken here, or you can cook this. I'm going to cook this now and make it into stock. Use the stock, and then I'm going to just strip that. There's a little bit of chicken left on it, not a lot, but there's a little bit on there here and there. So there's this oysters. That's the only bits you can't really get to. There's a little bit behind here. a little bit behind here sometimes. So, and if you do leave loads on here, you can just try and scrape it off. And then what you can do is weigh the carcass. Obviously there's some parson's nose and a bit of meat here around where the legs and thighs were, but you can take that off with the legs and thighs if you want to. Anyway, there's a little bit of meat there, and that's it. So now I'm gonna make some Spanish chicken. If you want to watch the next, we're gonna make some Spanish chicken here. So I've got some legs and thighs, some with the skin on, some with it out. So we're gonna fry them, put them in the not high oil, skin side down if there's skin on it. But so as you say, some of my family don't like the skin, so I've taken the skin off these. So I'm gonna get them all in there. And I've got some vegetables in the other pan. So for the Spanish chicken here, we've got loads of different vegetables here. So this I'm going to just chop them all straight in. So we've got shallots, courgettes, carrots, chilli, garlic, ginger, a little bit of turmeric, these little bits here, red onion, and I think that's about it. So that all goes in there, nice and hot. I'm going to season the chicken now. So I've got some salt and pepper mixed up here. You can probably hear it there, it's quite loud. Frying away. Bit of salt and pepper. Then with a spoon, a couple of spoons, I'm going to stir this. It's easier to stir it with one spoon, sometimes it's hard. So if you've got a lot to stir, a bit like making chow mein, and that's a big wok, you can do it with 2 spoons. So this will give it a bit of flavour by frying it. Now obviously we need some liquid for this in a minute. So the liquid I'm going to use is mainly either chopped or tinned tomatoes. Today I've got some chopped, just fresh tomatoes, but you can use, I'm going to show you these here. So I'm going to put these in a minute. So as you can see here, we've got some thyme, fresh thyme out of the garden, some parsley, sun-dried tomatoes, normal tomatoes. I've chopped the chilli up just to show you put in. I'm putting a little bit of lemon in and a little bit of lemon juice in a minute. And the other thing we've got is some spices. So this is the Spanish spices. So I've got here some paprika, which is the red one, which is like ground red pepper. We've got some garlic pepper, some, these are, they're called rose peppercorns. They've got a different flavour to the normal ones. We're going to put those in a minute, put them down there ready. Then we've also got some the fresh tomatoes. Now if there's not enough liquid in there, I can put some wine in or some water in or some more chopped tomatoes. So to turn these over, either with some tongs, I haven't got any tongs at the moment, I'm going to use a couple of forks or a fish slice here and just turn over. So they do taste a bit better if they've got a bit of colour on them and they look a bit better. Then I'm going to finish it off in the oven. So I'm going to fry them so they're not quite cooked, cover them with the red hot sauce, the hot sauce, put them in the oven with tin foil. I've got some tin foil here, make sure they're 75 degrees in the middle and they'll be cooked. So just keep stirring this till it goes golden brown, and that's it for the minute. So as you can see now, the Spanish chicken's got this good colour on it now, so I'm just going to get a quick stir. Yeah, and I'm going to sprinkle the spices on them. So I've got the paprika, the peppercorns and the garlic pepper here. So this will just make sure you give them a quick stir. Then I'm going to add some liquid and put the other stuff straight in here. So while that's frying for a minute, I'm going to turn that down for a tiny bit. Well actually I'm going to switch them now because this doesn't need to be quite so hot because this one does, so I'm putting loads of stuff in it. So this one here I'm going to turn back up high. Now this is all cooked, the vegetables are nearly cooked, they're not cooked but they will be with all the tomatoes. Now I'm going to put some flavour in there, so we've got a stock cube. Well that's a stock, one of the little, that's a stock type thing. I'm going to put 2 stock cubes in it, so I'm just showing you can use any types of stock here. Now chicken would be good, but I haven't got any, so I'm just going to use vegetable ones. So I'm going to put 3 vegetable stock cubes in here. Then I'm going to put some other stuff in here. This is all wet based stuff, or a bit wet. So we've got the tomato and everything, so that's just going all in this one. Or it could go in that one, it doesn't really matter. But it's all going to go together in a minute. Tomato in, and if you want, you're welcome to put some wine in it. I don't know what that noise is. That's the smoke alarm. Is that the smoke alarm, Ryan? So, stir this around. Normally the smoke alarm's a lot louder than that, so I don't know if that is that or that. It might have been from the chicken though. So as you can see, it's quite thick now. So I might put a bit of wine in. So I'm going to turn that one off, put a bit of wine in here, and then pull it all together. So I've added all the liquid now. I've added the lemon juice. Now this can all go together. I'm going to put it all in the oven. Now it's a little bit thick, but once it cooks in the oven, it will all go runny, as you can see. And I can put, maybe I'm going to put 1 glass of wine in this as well. So I'm going to put it in like a big roasting dish. So I'm going to show you one of them. So it's quite a bit more there than I thought. So I'm going to get a larger roasting dish. So I'm going to get a real huge one. I'm going to get a real large one here and put it in this here. Turn it off. And I'm going to put some paper in the bottom. Make one reason, make it easier for me to wash up there. Got the paper in the bottom. Just going to show you this. And this is going to go in the oven for about half an hour. Yeah. You can see there's 4 legs there, so in theory that should only be for 4 members. It looks quite a lot of stuff. Also, and there's some chorizo there, so there's a little bit of extra meat there. So that's just going to go in the oven, and I'm going to cover it up in a minute. So I'm just going to leave it for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to cover it up. So I'm going to put it in the top of the oven, because that needs to cook. The roast potatoes that I've got with it, I need to cook. So I'm going to show you that when it's cooked. As you can see, the chicken's now done. 90 degrees, so we're just going to have a look to see. Some have got skin on and some haven't. So that one's, I'm having the ones with the skin on. And my wife's not over keen on the skin, that's the skin on that one. Then we're going to find some without the, let's see if I can find some without the skin on. Definitely some of these have got no skin on. And sometimes hard to tell. Oh, it's weird that now. See, that one's not got skin, so that one's not got any skin on. And I definitely did some drumstick. There's a drumstick with no skin on. And with the sauce, there's loads of sauce here to go on top. So we're just going to put the sauce over the top of the chicken. And it goes well with the vegetables. As you can see, lots of vegetables with this. We get some purple brown broccoli, some swede, and some carrots there. Just going to show you another one here on a different type of plate. As you can see, that's the one without any skin on. Thank you.